Last time on Dice Funk.
Cetus is a large sea monster. It is the only thing that is hunting kraken in the sea. But they're hunting whale for their oil and blubber. But if perhaps whale take off tentacle, we get it for spell, the terraforming spell I am telling you about. Maybe we bring along hunting party, something happens. Oh no, the banana baron, and he is eaten by kraken, so sad.
He was trying to get the Kraken tentacle to create this level 9 terraforming spell. And Boyce's thought is that a spell like that could allow him to just build the rest of Zolfo in a single instance.
She's not gonna openly say it, but in her mind she's thinking about the fact that Boyce made a pretty important sacrifice for everybody recently.
Yeah,
so she's like, let me do Boyce a solid here, and I won't just do my immediate murder plan.
Yes, given the knowledge that Allison's whole thing isn't going to get fucked up by Dry Team, yeah, but Barbella's sellable on this.
So the water is starting to get full of blood as this fight rages on. Barbella, you are, hiding somewhere around the Banana Baron when this feeling roars in your head and you are dizzy. You can see your hands reappear as the magic wears off. And the Baron looks at you and says, "Now why'd you go and do a thing like that, sister? We had such a good arrangement."
The fear was at least part of it. Can Barbella, during this conversation, Barbella can't take any actions or anything, but can she do a roll of some kind to try and go, why did the Kraken do damage but not me?
Yeah, there's a magic effect in play. There's a magic on you that's not on the Kraken. 17 is good enough to just say that straight up. So something magic was done.
I have an idea what this is. I don't know if I should say it.
Up to you.
Go for
Is it? So we're all using weapons that Porter has enhanced.
You tap into the nightmares of a creature you can see within range and create an illusory manifestations of its deeper spheres, visible only to that creature. All right, and Ollie is moving towards you in the water, just almost like a ghost, head hung low, and you just hear him almost whispering, "Where's Gaudy? Where's Gaudy, Boyce? Where'd he go? What did you do?"
Even though our plan is to kill the Barons here, I don't think Reaper particularly wants to kill Lucius, because he actually does seem like he is not a supreme dickhead and kind of is caught in a bad situation, so she's not going to kill him. She's just going to be like, not as good as the first time, but I don't know, maybe we'll do best out of 5. And then she's just going to deliver a punch that just knocks him straight out.
Here's what happens. The Cetus gets the Cetus gets closer and closer and closer, and you see why it is the only thing that can hunt a Kraken. It is because it is simply that large. It could almost, it can't eat it whole, but it can pick it up in its mouth and start to eat it. That is how big it is. It's like a famous mythological motif, the squid and the whale. It's getting closer and closer, and as you're having this conversation, it can understand you, and it seems like it's going to go for Baron Valenzuela. But then he reaches down and touches his belt buckle with the picture of the krill on it, and the shrieking noise in your head becomes unbearable. The Cetus itself flinches, and it, instead of gobbling up the Baron, turns to the party and opens its gaping maw to eat the whole patrol whole.
As a heads up, to get myself in the mood, I loaded up the Kingdom Hearts Monstro OST, and I immediately shut it off out of rage, remembering how much I hated that level, but I was trying to get into the mood.
All right, last we left the adventure, the party was swallowed by a Cetus, C-E-T-U-S, the kind of giant whale that, as we have alluded to, ate Pinocchio and Jonah in the Bible. In fact, I spent a bunch of time this week looking up basically scholarly arguments about the biological possibility of being eaten by a whale, because since Old Testament times, scholars have been like, well, this is obviously literally true, so how long can someone survive inside of a whale? And let me tell you, it's not good.
They can't swallow shit that big, though. Isn't that the thing about whales, that they can't swallow anything that's not, like, fucking microbes?
There's different kinds of whales, but yeah, the whale that a human would fit inside their mouth would not be able to pass through their narrow throat opening.
Exactly.
But this is a mythologically large whale, so you all do enter inside of it. I will say that I was trying to figure out how much air you would all have, and then I remembered that you all can breathe the oxygen in the water, so that was a great afternoon I spent.
Did other people we were trying to fight get swallowed by the whale? Like, is everyone in the whale, or is this like we got eaten by the whale and all of our enemies are off having a great day? Did we defeat any of our enemies? I don't remember.
We did knock out one of them, I think.
Lucius got knocked unconscious.
Correct.
If you see the Roll20, you'll notice Lucius is there with you because he was basically completely washed by Reaper, and his like half-conscious body has been caught up in the eating. So,
can I walk over and like sort of like lightly kick at the body, like, hello, you awake?
Yeah, well, so the first thing is that you were all pulled into the dark. There's no illumination inside of a whale. There's no light sources. Even with dark vision, you need some tiny modicum of illumination to see something. So first, you're all kind of plunged into darkness. You're thrown around. You're hitting the muscular walls of the inside of this giant whale. It's very disorienting. And when you eventually come to a stop, it is you're very claustrophobic, even though this whale is giant. Like you can touch all the walls around you. It's not great. The smell is very bad. So I want to establish the scene as you're all very troubled when
I wanted you to say all that before I kind of like override that immediately.
Incredible.
Boyce's manifested mind emits light.
Well, there we go again. So there's nothing I can establish that you cannot change. No, this is what's great. It's great about the game.
I just like okay, well, I thought I had a counter for this.
Well, that's better than me. I was looking at burning a 3rd level spell slot to make my sword glow, but like this works.
Yeah, to read specifically, the manifest mind option creates a tiny spectral object. It sheds dim light in a 10-foot radius. So it's not great light, but it's not like complete darkness.
Sure, and you can move that around in the part of the body you all find yourself in. We're going to make some rolls about that in a moment. I mean, what DM hasn't built an entire quest around a curse, introduced it, and immediately had someone cast Remove Curse, invalidating a week of work? You know, this is just how it goes.
I was going to say, like, what DM hasn't started a session planning about having their party just vored into a whale?
I assumed we would just, we had to find the light switch, and then it was going to be like a Lord Jabu Jabu situation.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
I think we said that after the recording last week. As like next time Jabu Jabu stuff, and there's gonna be elevators, there's gonna be switches and box puzzles.
Is there gonna be a princess I gotta like put on the switch, and then she's gonna be really pissed off I left her in the other room?
I think Barbella is the princess inside this whale.
Barbella's the princess in the whale.
Reaper gets to carry Barbella around and put her on switches.
Ooh, we don't want to change those rolls around a lot because I'm looking at my straight score. It's not looking super high.
No, here's the thing. Usually I'd take you up on that because I'd be sleepy, but I'm awake today, so I'll play the game rather than just being left outside on a switch. Ooh, awakeness.
So Reaper, you locate Lucius's unconscious body, give him a little shake. He groans and says, "Consarn it, what now?"
You've been eaten by a whale. I would say all of us have, but that would seem like a mark of failure on my part, so I'm just going to say that you, Lucius, got eaten by the whale.
Well, it's not the worst thing I've ever smelled. He sits up, kind of trying to basically sit on the fleshy ground, but is being kind of knocked around by the water in here. You see, because of the illumination from Boyce's awakened mind, that there is some sort of muscular wall behind you that is moving, let's say.
Can I help to stabilize Lucius?
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you want to make a medicine check?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know why. I think it's just because I had dark mode on. It's not on, but I was like, roll 20 is so different now. 21.
Wow.
Perfect. Yeah, you've basically fixed the injuries you just got done giving him, which is fun.
Yeah, I know exactly how to do it. I'm like, yes, that's my hand right there. Yep, that's that spear. I know exactly how to do this.
Popping all the bones back into place.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, I struck it from this angle, let me strike for the other, and it just pops back in like nothing's happened. You know?
Exactly.
Oh god, does this mean we didn't? The main people we were trying to beat in the fight didn't even get swallowed, huh?
Lucius laughs and says, "The Baron, he has some kind of device that big mammals don't like."
Ah, this...
What device is that?
His belt buckle, it's some kind of old fancy technology. I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Well, okay, are you asking for me to roll to see if I can figure out what type of device it is, I guess?
Absolutely. History check to know more about this device. You've seen a couple times now. I try to mention it every time he's on screen.
Are you sure it's not Arcana? They're both the same score, but I'm just... 16.
Yeah. I will say that you all know that you're living in a post-apocalyptic world. There used to be higher levels of technology, and that I would say that you probably don't know the word sonar, but you have an understanding of that. Like in ancient technology, there used to be the ability to send out like sound waves that could do things. Right.
And military sonar can be very disruptive for the living entities in the water because it's such a loud sound for them to deal with.
As of this recording, scientists are still trying to figure out all the implications of this. I studied a lawsuit where someone tried to sue the United States government on behalf of all whales because they were just getting murdered by the tons.
Oh man, I really wish there was a whale lawyer though.
No, literally the case got thrown out because the whales didn't have standing in U.S. court.
Damn.
Look, I don't know a lot about how whales work. Is there... how do I put this? Is there like a control bit, like in a mech, that we can use to pilot the whale to go eat? Is that how they work? If we find the right room, can we pilot this to get the Baron?
Is this the whale's control stick?
Roll nature to know about controlling the whale you're in. I will say there's like a shudder along the muscles of the walls in here as you're discussing this. The animal is moving and doing things.
Barbella has an 11 to know whether there's a control room in the whale.
Boyce has a 24.
All right, with 24, very good. I'll say you know that steeds are intelligent. They can understand language, although they do not speak. If the whale knows what's going on, which you think is pretty likely, it seemed to be responding to people talking, that you could just speak. If it could hear you, maybe you're too far down. But as far as like control rooms go, that would just be talking to the guy.
Okay.
All right, awesome. Well, you know what I have to ask?
Yeah.
Can I roll intimidation on the whale?
Absolutely.
From the inside.
Basically, like, you better let us out or I'm going to punch out all of your teeth. Do they have... I'm going to punch out something. An 11.
No, that's not going to do it. I will say toothed whales are a separate category of whales. If you ever look at their jaws, it's so incredible. It's not like a human mouth where the teeth are just like out there. They slot into the gums. It's like really intense.
Because Monstro had teeth.
Sure.
I've got a thing on my character sheet that doesn't come up very often. Emissary of the sea. Aquatic beasts have an extraordinary affinity with my people. I can communicate simple ideas with beasts that can breathe water, and they can understand my words, although I will have no special ability to understand them in return. Barbella's got to talk to this whale.
Wow, no, that's great. Yeah, I haven't thrown a lot of like sea creatures at you this season because I don't want you to hurt them because I love them very much. I did a goblin shark as a joke because goblins are the first enemy you fight in any RPG. But I don't want you just going around exterminating the lovely sea creatures.
Okay, is there a map to where I find the whale's ears?
You gotta find the chest that has the map, and then the chest with the compass.
Yeah.
And then
We look at the wall. There's a little like structure of the whale. There's a little star. You are here. We're next to the.
Should I be looking for the room that needs the boss key to get into it, and that's the ears, and that's where I'll beat the boss, and then I can talk to the whale?
Yeah, I will say that they're the muscular walls around you. You think you are in some kind of chamber that basically open, and you could be pushed into another chamber. You do not want to keep going in the direction you're going. That is deeper into the whale. That is bad. But if you get maybe forward, back the way you came, you could probably speak to the whale. So, like, there's a conversation happening here and an investigation happening here.
Okay, we should probably start moving the other direction to look for whatever's going to stop us moving the other direction.
You ready to get going, Lucius?
Lucius, to continue the conversation you were having, you pop Lucius's bones back into place, and he says, "Why are you bothering with all this? You just trying to humiliate me more? You already won."
Yes, I did. I've already proven myself superior to you twice. But that doesn't mean you have to die inside the whale. I mean, that just seems like a waste of a good fighter.
Why is it better to die out there? You already know you can't beat the Baron. Your weapons will never touch him, and he'll liquefy your brains with his belt buckle waves.
Hey, we did damage to him. He took damage.
Yeah, I saw you bouncing him into the Kraken. He ain't gonna fall for that twice.
Yeah, well, we just come up with another plan. We came up with one plan that worked. We'll do another one, and we just gotta break the belt buckle. That's like two things, and then we win.
I wish I had y'all's optimism.
Okay, three things. We talk to the whale, and then hopefully the whale can like ignore the pain for like just a second and crunch.
Reaper is going to point at Lucius's wand and be like, "Can't we use that to beat the Baron?"
No? You think he didn't enchant my items too?
What if we throw it at him really hard?
No. He uses an old pirate spell. It's an anti-mutiny incantation thing that Porter puts on everything. It's clings to your weapon first, but after 24 hours it clings to the person, so you can't attack your captain.
He's not our captain though, so why is it stopping us doing it?
Well, that's just because he's acting as the captain in relationship to how the magic works. You know, it's a way of...
I never agreed not to mutiny this man. I think if I loudly tell the magic that, it'll be okay.
Reaper's gonna raise her hand and be like, "I have a question about how this enchantment works."
Yeah, like I said, I'm a wizard, so I definitely can answer your stupid fucking question.
No, this is a good one. You're gonna say that after I explain it. So, imagine if Barbella is the Baron, and Reaper is going to, like, move Boyce in front of Barbella. What if I punched through someone else and then into the Baron? Then I'm not attacking them, I'm attacking the person in front of them.
What is y'all's damage? Why can't you just accept that you lost?
Because when you lose, you come back stronger, right?
Or you leave.
That sounds like something cowards do.
Life is like a big riddle, and hey, just because I didn't solve it this time doesn't mean I can't give it another go and maybe find the answer. And maybe the answer is, I decide right now that I'm changing my name, and I'm no longer the same named person who was contractually obligated not to... Also, surely magic lawyers, there's like, if I didn't know I was signing a magic contract, surely I can't be held to a magic contract.
The magic isn't attached to your name, Senora. It's your soul.
Yeah, but like, surely someone can throw out the contract because like I didn't know I was doing it. Surely they gotta say, do you sign on the dotted line to have terms and conditions magic?
No one said contract. I don't know what you're talking about. You have a magic weapon, you held on to it now too long, and now the magic's on your soul. That's all there is.
Yeah. So this curse isn't in any regards a disease or a poison.
It's not a curse. Your item improved.
Well, yeah, but if a thing soaks up into my soul and forces me to not be able to attack a person, that's a curse. That's an unwanted magical affliction that permanently affects my life and soul, without me being told those effects will occur. That sounds like a textbook curse.
Nah, it's an enchantment that increases unit solidarity, unity, brotherhood.
This is some bullshit magic. Could you just put this magic on like a pen and someone needs to borrow a pen and now, oh shit, they're fucking magic locked. Seems... Oh.
You live in a world of mysteries and curses. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, well, if you wanted to do a mutiny right here, right now, how would you go about it then? How would you mutiny? Because right now, you're in a whale, and we're your best chance to get out, and we would like to be more mutinyable. Apparently we're in that situation.
I would leave and never come back. You can't beat the Baron.
Okay, well, you suck. And Barbella's gonna start walking the opposite direction a lot, like the not toward the back of the whale direction.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Lucius, but I'm not leaving. The only way I leave this area is for the Baron or one of their lackeys or otherwise to kill me where I stand. But I'm not leaving here after the decades I've spent trying to build up this community here, trying to build up this town.
What's your problem with the Baron? He bought all that land legally. He can do what he wants with it. Why you try to kill him?
Because I don't want to have this be built on the premise of how the old way was, by people owning the land and petitioning it out and selling it and, holding people potentially homeless over that fact there.
I mean, for me, it's the fucking with my religion and the holding a person I like at, like, knife at throat point. Like, that wasn't fun. That's pretty rough behavior.
I just think he sucks.
Yeah, well, now he's gonna have the Terramorphin spell or whatever. As soon as Porter cracks that, you're never gonna be able to set foot in Zolfo again. The ground will swallow you right up.
Yeah, well, listen, I don't plan on losing on those terms there. The Baron may have wealth, but he's also a coward. And that means that he will apply all these underhanded tricks and such. And as soon as that gets applied in the way of distributing how the land works and everything else, the only people who are going to win out in the end there are the Baron and anyone that serves the Baron's favor. And at that point, he's a de facto monarch.
I've never met anybody less cowardly. He brought us up from the dregs of the Western Sea, where we ate garbage to survive. We don't have fucking bones, Boyce. We don't have barely any muscle. We were the bottom of the food chain. And he brought us out here, and he gave us more power than any you've ever had.
I don't see how any of that contradicts a single word I said. So, I'm sorry. Listen, my ideal world would have room for you and everyone under the Baron's umbrella. No one would be denied a place to live. No one would be denied a place to be part of the community. This is not about retribution. This is about a new opportunity for all of us to be able to set a stage and stake a course that we are blessed to be offered.
Barbella, you said you were walking away. Can I get investigation for you to look at the other side of this muscular chamber you're in?
Yeah, one sec. Investigation. That's not a good number. That's a 2 minus 1. That's a 1.
All right. The party fails, and basically, while you're looking at this wall, part of it opens up, and a huge wall of water rushes in. Everyone's strength saving throw, not to be knocked over.
15 for the strength saving throw.
13.
12.
You can add a what is my 1 second. My charisma modifier, which is somewhere on here. You can add +3 to your results.
Okay, so your paladin aura just saves everyone because I needed 15 and I had you got 12.
It doesn't save me. Does it work on myself?
It also does not
yeah,
save
no.
me. I remembered and added that 3 to my score, so I don't want to lie and say that
okay.
I can like.
It does save me then. It puts me over the 15.
All right, so Boyce and Barbella are able to grab onto the wall or on maybe something heavy that the whale swallowed. You're not swept up. Lucius and Reaper are knocked to the back of this chamber, which then opens up, and they start to go into the next one because whales have 3 or 4 stomachs, depending on what kind, and each one is basically a kind of crushing machine and acid slide.
Okay, I've got a plan. Create or destroy water. Destroy some of the water so that then to reduce the being swept away.
Okay, so let's say that gives Reaper advantage on whatever she wants to do as you and Lucius go tumbling towards the back of the chamber and you're about to be swept further along. What do you do?
Yeah. So Reaper can still just teleport. Like, she just has that ability. So I'm not super concerned with her right now. Like, she could just teleport into like the fucking sky if she needs to. This whole place is like darkness. But she's more concerned with like making sure Lucius doesn't just die, because he just talked about how he has no bones and so few muscles. Like, she's like, oh, this guy's gonna get fucking absolutely exploded. So I think her focus is to try to like get, I don't know how he's reacting, but she's gonna try to almost like hold on to him to make sure he has stability. I can't teleport with him. I'm not like Nightcrawler, but I guess try to find some way that like I don't know if there's debris or something. I can't stop thinking of Monstro. There's like some way, like something that he can like hold on to keep himself from like going further into the body that I can help like push him towards.
Sure, acrobatics check with advantage because of Barbella destroying some of the water that was bearing down on you.
Sure. 26 for acrobatics.
All right, you succeed in the whatever way you want. You control the scene at the 26. Basically, I was only looking for 15. So Lucius is tumbling backwards. He has a natural like panic response just because he's conscious, but he is somewhat resigned to being crushed and dissolved in the stomach of this creature. What do you do?
Yeah, so I think I'm saying for the sake of this that there's some level of like debris. There's something like caught up in this whale's, not throat or whatever, but like I guess back of mouth before it goes to the stomach that does function as like a platform. And Reaper just takes a bunch of effort to like grab onto Lucius and sort of push him off there. And there is like a moment that looks like it was like a heroic sacrifice, like she's gonna get swept into the back of the whale now as a result, and instead she just like fucking teleports up into the sky and is like, no, I'm too cool for that.
All right. Lucius looks at you, Reaper, and says, what's the point of any of this? Why don't you just let me die? You already embarrassed me in front of everyone. I can't even lay a finger on you anymore.
I put you up on the platform. How you get out from here is up to you. If you really want to die, then I guess just stay there. But I assume you're stronger than that, and you'll find a way to get out of here.
All right, Barbella, you saw where the opening in the muscular wall is now, because that's what let the water in. I don't know what you want to do about that, but you know where it is.
I mean, can I just like try and pull it open enough for us to go through?
Athletics.
You sure that's not strength?
That is strength, isn't it?
Yeah.
13. That's a 23 on athletics.
Wowzers, Bowsers. All right, Barbella, you once again, they have really great rolls this episode. Paint me the scene of you forcing open the technical and anatomical term for this is, don't laugh, it is sphincter. I'm sorry.
That sure is what it is. Barbella gets her hands in that sphincter and really just sort of pulls it wide open. There you go. Is that what you wanted, Austin? Is that
Yes.
what you wanted?
It is what I wanted,
Yep.
Laura. Thank you.
Yeah.
So while that's happening, Boyce is going to aid in our ability to navigate through the well by using one of their inherent racial abilities, and that is to cast the spell Water Walk on everyone in the immediate area. The main reason why I'm doing this is because since we're inside this whale, a lot of surfaces are slick and have things like acid on them and such. So Water Walk allows us to walk on any liquid surface such as water, acid, mud, snow, quicksand, or lava as if it were harmless, solid ground.
Cool.
So we basically won't have to worry about like trying to climb something and it's too slippery effectively.
While Barbella's holding the door, I'm going to call it a door, holding the door open for everyone, she is mulling over this magical situation on the soul and is going to talk some things out loud and not be sure whether this works, but is going to go, so like the nature of this magic is that I can't mutiny against, you know, my captain, my source of power, etc. Do I just like loudly make a point of the fact that, like, my allegiance to my captain, my source of power, is the riddlefish? And surely what this magic should be doing is stopping me attacking the riddlefish, because, like, if it's anti-mutiny magic, that's, like, the only allegiance I have is the riddlefish. So, you know, to suggest magically that anything else was my allegiance would be incorrect. Therefore, fix.
Arcana check.
Okay.
The Socratic method of beating the enchantment.
16?
Now that's good for me to tell you in pretty clear language. The mutiny thing was just me giving some flavor to the origin of the spell. What has happened is your souls have been linked. The spell is choose two souls. One end cannot harm the other. So it is Barbella's soul and the Banana Baron's soul, and that one soul cannot hurt the other.
Okay, cool. Good to get Barbella off of that line of thinking at least. Is there anything that, like, I know I've been sort of joking around, like, Barbella's like, my name is now Bob Shell, and I'm a different person now. But Barbella is having a thought, which is, if I were to jump into that riddlefish hole and get full of worms, would I come back a slightly different person?
You would not come back a slightly different person, but your soul would be detached from your body, and therefore that body would be able to hurt the Banana Baron, no problem.
Yeah, because, like, I'd go in and come back out, and that might be a way for Barbella to be able to deal damage.
100%. It will be a consequential choice because Bishop Bittercreek has declared that is a misuse of church resources, so he will have feelings about that.
Barbella is also going to need to find a replacement weapon before everything changes, though. And she does have a thought on what the new weapon could be to replace the crab leg that is cursed.
Okay.
Whale's got big bones. Maybe there's like a rib that I could be wielding.
Whoa. I mean, the ribs are in the other direction. You're coming out the mouth, I will say.
Okay, like a big tooth? Do they have, like, canines? Do they have, like, sharp... Like, can I have one big whale tooth?
I like the idea of you getting two teeth and then just taping them to your hands and just, like, punching with those.
I'm not intending to hurt the whale. I'm more like, if we get to the bit with the teeth, can I see if one happens to be wobbly? It's about to fall out anyway. I just take that with me. Whale teeth knuckle dusters.
That's why I'm saying, exactly. Yeah.
So a lot to talk about there. I will say you're holding the door open. Everyone comes up behind you while you're having this conversation, and you find yourself in the lower esophagus. So you're not quite in the mouth, but because of the water walk, you all can just kind of make your way out. That's not the problem. If you want to use your feature you described earlier to just talk to the whale now, you can, and you can just tell him what to do, where to go. That will be in conflict with ripping his teeth out. I feel like that's a different track.
Yeah. Okay. As I said, I wasn't gonna just rip teeth out. If there's no, like, hey, if you've got a toothache, like, wiggle your tongue against it and, like, you know, that'd be great. I might throw that in the end, but
we're actually traveling whale dentists, actually.
But Barbella is gonna attempt to be heard here, and is gonna go, "Hey, sorry if we're causing any irritation in here. We mean you no harm. We want to kick the ass of the guy who made the really painful sound that you don't like. We also would like to not be inside you, ideally. If you could help us not be inside of you, and beyond that, if you want to like help us on team get some revenge on the guy that makes the painful sound you don't like, that'd be cool. Also, if you happen to have any teeth that are like, wobbly, are ready to fall out, like, that would be cool, but that's also, that's very situational. Main thing, sorry if we're bothering you, we'd love to leave, and do you want to help us bite a fool in half who made bad sounds at you?
Animal handling with advantage for your feature, and I'll say low DC, because you never attacked the inside of this guy's body.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is a straight D20 with advantage. 12.
Yep. I only needed a 10 because you are communicating clearly, and this is a fundamentally reasonable creature. They're one of the most intelligent mammals.
And this aquatic beast has an extraordinary affinity with me, so,
Yeah. I think your feature said you don't know. It doesn't give you any special ability to perceive it.
Yeah, they can understand me. I don't get any special ability to understand them. So unless they speak back in a language I know, which would be somewhere on this list, unless they're speaking back in Primordial.
They cannot speak, but I will say in
Cool.
response to you saying all that, there is a change in its body language. It seems to like change direction and start going somewhere. And there is no, it's not like it suddenly tries to swallow you or shake you off or anything. And you all can just kind of crawl up into its mouth and hang out there, maybe even like look out between the teeth, because you have succeeded escaping the cetus. I will just say that. The DC was low. You have communicated to this creature pretty clearly. It hates the Banana Baron, who gave it like sonic trauma from that sonar, and it is taking you back to Zolfo.
Well, and that means the whale doesn't need to worry about mutinying because it's never unwittingly signed allegiance with the Baron.
Okay, yeah, Barbella needs a new weapon ASAP.
So you're all standing around in the mouth. You see Lucius, the blue dragon, is looking for his cowboy hat, which he lost at some point. He seems pretty upset about that, and he says, "Y'all are worried about the wrong thing. The Banana Baron, he's not a fighter. He never killed nobody, to my knowledge. He has people for that. It's Porter you gotta worry about. If she got that tentacle back to town, she's about to control every place you can stand or step."
Oh, don't worry. Porter definitely has my attention first and foremost, because...
Well, Porter's one you can actually hit, so...
Well, more to the point, if... My question to you, Lucius, is what would the Baron do if I was able to get the terraforming spell on lock and get that working?
I mean, you'd be a huge threat to his operation if you could control the land he owns. We can't let that stand. That's the kind of thing he hires people to take care of for him.
And that's fine. But what if he wanted to, I don't know, talk about it?
He does not want to talk to you.
All right. Well.
So you're saying it will come to violence no matter what?
It's funny you say that. So obviously the Banana Baron is based on Cattle Baron in the Old West. And I've been, doing a lot of research about that stuff. And a thing I've struggled with this season is making the Baron Valenzuela even a fraction of as evil as those guys really were. Like the Johnson County War, where a bunch of cattle barons just hired like 200 guys, gave them a list of names, and they just went house to house just killing those people. It's like... the level of violence that these people are capable of inflicting is like too cartoonish for me to depict sometimes. Like I have a hard time getting my mind around it. He's just like hey, I want to own all the land of this like sacred religious thing where I control the gates of between life and death. That's not negotiable. What are you talking about?
Can Barbella, looking out the whale's mouth, see any signs of what might be a direction for her to throw herself into a riddle snake hole?
Oh, interesting. I will say that you know the location of 3. There's the purple one in the church. There's the green one that was.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like one that's ready to have a body part thrown in it, does it? It could be just one that is spewing out stuff.
So you, as a paladin of the riddle snake, can summon it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things to consider here. This is an open-ended mission. You all can approach this however you want. There are enemy combatants, around every corner. Stuff's going on off screen that you don't know about. So I want you to all kind of dictate, the plan here. So you all feel free to talk about this amongst yourselves.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look, I don't know about the other about you two. I very much blame myself for the Banana Baron stuff going on. I piped up and said we should accept help to prevent that attack on the town, which meant owing a favor. Accepted the weapons that were powered up. Accepted the deal that we're now having to do the killing to try and get around the fact that I agreed to a thing while held at knife point. I feel responsible for this, and if the other two of you can take on the other fights that we need to do, I think I need to take the Baron down, and I have a plan to do that. I'm not super keen about making a little bit of an enemy of my religious elder and also being full of worms and having to find a new weapon, but I don't know how it fills with everyone else's plans, but I think I gotta stop. I think I gotta stop that Baron.
Are you sure you feel the need to do this? This would make you an enemy of your religion, potentially, and also set a precedent that some people can consider it necessary to use the well for this purpose. The first time was an accident. This would be an intentional thing.
I have been disagreeing more and more frequently with how my own religion should be doing things. I wish I'd had a chance to talk to Hylia, because I think there is more to our pair of religions than my religious leader would perhaps admit, and I think that taking a step that goes against a one-sided view of how this religion should be, but does line up with maybe being a starting point for combining our religions and understanding the two of them as connected, might not be the worst future for both religions, and that might be more important than just putting what my set of scholars says is the right interpretation. Sometimes a riddle has more than one answer, and I think this might be one of those cases.
Yeah, it sounds like Barbella, maybe you're going to go to the church to enter the purple vent to become, as you said, full of worms. Basically, your soul will possess your body, but the body will not be bound to the enchantment. That's totally valid. Reaper and Boyce, are you going in other directions? I will say maybe at this point, Lucius will chime in and say, I suspect Porter's off somewhere trying to finish the spell. If she succeeds, it's game over for y'all anyway.
Yeah, I think Reaper's of the mindset of going to find Porter.
Mm-hmm.
I think the question is would Porter be hiding, or would they just be at the Baron's compound?
Yeah. Because you saved Lucius's life, I'm not going to make you roll anything. I think he'll just say, he'll just say, all the Porter's magic doohickeys is at the farm. I mean, listen, we go way back. You know, we came up together. I like Porter, but she's a little sick in the head.
You don't need to say that twice.
Question. If the person who cast this spell on us, aka Porter, dies, what happens to the spell?
Nothing as far as I know. It's the Baron's
Damn.
soul and your soul.
That would have been thematically cool.
It sure would have been. Well,
I got one other logistical question. If I go in the hole and come back out, and I am technically a spirit possessing a body but not connected to it, could I still hold the weapon and not have it recorrupt me because I'd be holding it with a body that isn't connected to my soul?
If you're looking for a new weapon, could you take one of those fucking, like, riddle snake sculptures from the church and just fucking, like, wield that like a giant club, essentially? Like, can you beat your enemies up with, like, a visage of your god?
Austin, what stats would you give me for I'm gonna hit you around the head with a big snake?
This is a great question. People ask me this all the time. My knee-jerk response is if you pick up a statue of the Riddlefish, that's just a normal weapon for a paladin, no bonuses. If you use the crab leg, you will lose the bonus Porter put on it, but then the rest of the weapon will still be a reinforced crab leg. So whatever plus it is now, +2 or +3, it will go down by 1.
Yeah,
so it'll be a
that's-
+2 crab leg.
It's
yeah.
the reason I'm thinking of, like, why I asked the question about keeping the crab leg, is taking the -1. I've spent several of my level ups putting add a +1 to my weapon has been, like, my primary choice of level up reward. So it's mainly I don't know off the top of my head, I can't remember off the top of my head how many times I've done that. So I'm like, it's a plus something. It took a certain number of +1s.
Yeah. But the idea is, like, yeah, this is a spell. It's like you have to be loyal to your captain until death. And going into a Well of Resurrection pulls your soul out of your body, which is death, so the spell ends and you're good. But you do just lose Porter's bonus. So that is where I am at.
You have a 5% less chance of hitting something depending on the dice roll, and you do 1 point less damage. That's not a huge penalty.
Cool. I die. I am no longer attached to my body. I can get a little bit of a surprise hit in on the Baron. Cool.
All right. So what are Boyce and Reaper doing?
I think I want to propose, like, a buddy team up to go beat up, potentially kill Porter. I guess there's no need to since it doesn't end the spell, but questions on the table if this person should be allowed to live.
I mean, Boyce is, like, still a little shaken up thinking about Porter. It's like, Reaper, you know, I don't relish the thought of killing anyone. I'm just... There's a good chance that if I'm getting the final shot in there, then I might end up just taking Porter outright after, well, making me see Ollie like that earlier.
Yes. Can I confide something in you, Boyce?
Of course you can.
I know that I'm the ultimate fighter, the master of all darkness, lord of shadows, killer of billions, according to some. But the truth is, I've never actually killed anyone before.
Is that so?
I don't know why I'm honestly saying this. Perhaps I swallowed a bit too much water inside of that whale. But I talk a lot about it. I just never actually did it. I thought bringing my master back would be my chance to finally push through and do what he always wanted me to do. He always thought I was soft for not being willing to go for a lethal blow, but I don't know. I just don't feel like I have that same urge.
Well, I don't think that's anything to be ashamed of. I mean, I mean, I've certainly killed a few, as we know, when it came to either dealing with the elves or even the that goblin shark that got you when we first were heading out to go to the Cape parts. So, for my part, it's not something I'm proud of doing whenever it happens, but it's just kind of a thing that I guess is sort of happened a few times. One way I like to think of it is this, right? You know, your master was trying to make you become something else, maybe something that you didn't actually want to be, in that case being a killer. And so I sort of look at this as sort of your personal will, your own sense of self coming up against what your master is trying to do. And maybe it's just that your own, well, sense of who you are as a person is stronger than what he can exert influence over.
You don't think it's a weakness to be unable to kill somebody?
I mean, sometimes, be fully frank, killing someone in many ways is kind of the easy way out, right? In some respects, if you're dealing with someone and you kill them, then, you know, barring them being resurrected, there's no conversation to be had. There's no further growth that can happen. There's no exchange that can go on. So, you know, I mean, you sparing, for example, Lucius over there, I mean, that takes a certain degree of control. That takes a certain degree of, you know, well, I guess, strength to not let yourself get lost in the temptation.
Reaper's almost kind of sad in a way, not like sobbing sad, but there's like a moment of like this kind of very like quiet reflection as she's being told she's strong inherently in the way she like kind of had always been raised and like created a false persona behind is like the opposite of what makes someone strong. Like she's always been under the impression you had to kill a billion people, and that's what makes the strongest person, and not like, oh, having restraint actually might be better. But she is going to like, kind of turn back to Boyce and say, what's the line for you then when it comes to who should you be willing to kill?
That's a tough one. I mean, a handful of times where I've killed before, it was almost sort of like an act of desperation. Your life or Barbella's life was in danger, and sometimes it was because of my own, well, cowardice that maybe things didn't span out. So I just sort of took kind of a shot and didn't really try to think too much about it. But in terms of what is the line, oh, I don't think I'm really good at answering that question. I think for some people, maybe even like the Baron, they look at it as they have a way that they want life to be for themselves or others, and they can't achieve that, then there's no point in living anymore. And so they're willing to kill to preserve that, and they're willing to die in service of that as well. So it's hard to say who deserves, because I think it's just as tricky of a question as saying, you know, who deserves to be resurrected, right? You know, it's...
Yes. Well, I think when it comes to Porter, I don't know if I want to kill her, but I do want to hurt her for hurting you.
I don't know if I might end up killing Porter or not, but I've been working at this whole thing for too long for it to just sort of slip through my fingers. You know, you make a promise to someone years ago, and even after they're gone, you feel like if you can't pull through with it, you kind of been wasting your time, or, you know, being a failure or something. And I don't have a mind of being a failure, not today or really ever.
You're not a failure, and this is your Ollie, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well then, boys, let's go do it for Ollie.
Yeah. For Ollie, and heck, for Ollie and Gowdy for that matter.
Oh my god, it did have a name. I've just been calling it Math Problem. I completely forgot.
All right. The Cetus reaches the edge of Zolfo and somewhat unceremoniously spits you out, like Jonah and the whale. You see in the distance your town. There appears to be stuff going on. I'll need you to roll more, but you're on the outskirts. And the whale is going to leave with the 12 in animal handling. It is not going to just like charge in here and start attacking people. But
Sorry, to be clear, when you say you, is that all of us or?
all of you have been spit up.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we were still collectively as a group or if we had broken off yet.
I wasn't sure either, hence Barbella being like, I'm quietly not in the conversation.
So, I guess, I don't know what would be the good check to try to, like, catch the hubbub, basically. Like, why are people freaking out?
Yeah, perception is the hubbub check.
Wow. I wouldn't have called that.
Oh no. That's a 9 for Boyce.
That's an 8 for Reaper.
One sec. Perception. 11.
Nope, the group fails. You can't really tell what's going on. There are people in the streets here, swimming around, but it's not clear to you why or anything. I will say Lucius is here, and he doesn't seem like he's going to follow you into the jaws of hell. He says, I don't think I can beat Porter or the Baron, and I don't really want to. You know, they've helped me out a lot. So, I guess this is where we part ways.
That's fair, Lucius, but to be clear, you're still welcome in Zolfo.
Yeah. And one less person fighting against us is helpful, so thank you for that.
Maybe we could do a rematch someday in a different format, like a sharpshooting contest, because I still think I'm more accurate than you, even if you're just too fast, is the thing.
Can I, fire off a, shuriken at this? Like, I want to actually, try to prove him wrong, really hit something real quick. So can I fire something off as, a feat of marksmanship?
Actually, yeah, specifically, can we do a best of 3 dexterity contest? Because
Sure.
you throw 3 shurikens, and I want to see if he can shoot them out of the air.
Okay, so just
good.
pure raw dexterity number?
Yeah.
Okay.
Crit on my first one. Good thing I said best of 3.
16. So I think you win that one.
19 for the second one.
13.
20! What the fuck?
23! I got one in!
All right. What's funny is we both have the exact same dexterity modifier. It's not like I'm big dogging you with Tarask stats.
No,
or anything.
this is Reaper's best score.
All right. So you quickly bam 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 throw 3 shurikens and he shoots 2 out of the air, quick draw style, really impressive, and then smiles broadly as he realizes the third one did embed itself in his chest.
I wasn't trying to target practice on him.
I like there's this big grin on his face, and the camera pans out, and there's just a fountain of blood just shooting out of his chest. It's looks like I win this round. It turns around and collapses on the
Reaper
ground. in a heap.
calling out
Sorry, that one actually missed. I was trying to not hit you.
No, that's good. Best 2 or 3. I think I still have it. My masculinity is normal, within a normal range, and good.
Okay, well, I'm happy for you. We'll do a rematch then the next time this town sets up a marksmanship contest.
Yeah, a fair one.
Well, next time we have a World's Fair,
I mean, yeah, it comes down to you respect his abilities and have more faith than the Baron did, who tried to get you to throw the fight. And so,
Hey, Lucius, can I have your hat?
I wish I had a hat to give you. I don't know where the fuck it
that's
went.
right. It went. You got lost. Damn. I was really hoping I could wear a cool cowboy hat. Damn. Oh.
Hearing this, Boyce will just sort of look at Reaper, think for a moment, and then take their own hat off and just sort of set it on Reaper's head there.
Yeah. I want Reaper to do the cool nod head, nod hat move that cowboys do to Lucius.
All right. Barbella, you're going to the church, and Boyce and Reaper are going to the farm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And any rolls or spells associated with that?
I mean, I go very fast. But I don't have any specific rolls. I guess if I can wait 5 minutes or whatever to get my key points back, but outside of that, I'm just gonna run towards them as fast as I can.
I have another spell I could throw out here as a ritual that could be fun for this context here while Reaper gets Phantom Steed, which I like to free flavor as Fathom Steed, just like but basically being able to sort of like summon forth like our own sort of mount that Reaper and Boyce can sort of like, that Boyce can ride on to keep up with Reaper, because let's be honest, Reaper could probably outrun even this, but this would allow them to kind of make haste over to the farm as needed there.
2 things. First is hanging out in the whale's mouth for however long that journey took was a short rest, so you should have all your stuff done.
Okay.
The other thing is if you're going to take horses to the farm, classic Wild West move, I need animal handling from you two.
Even if I'm summoning my own horse? Gosh, you got me here. All right, one sec. Let me get my short rest sorted here. In fact, what I'm going to do while I'm doing my short rest is just use my arcane recovery to get some spell slots back. So... Yeah.
In the meantime, Barbella, what's your church approach like?
Barbella is walking up confidently. She's meant to be there. There's nothing suspicious about this set of actions.
Okay, roll initiative, Barbella.
Cool, sure. Boop. 16. Who am I initiativing against?
All right, I rolled a 9, so you win the initiative. But yeah, you start walking up to the church. You see some people in the distance maybe spot you and run away. And as you get to the door, you see there is a guard outside, a great white shark Kuatoa. It is Goldsby, who you threw the fight to in the tournament, and he sees you coming and says, "That's a bold move, outlaw. You just coming back from your attempted murder to just stroll back in like nothing happened? I respect the audacity."
What? Back to my church, religious institution, that it would be a real bigoted move to stop me entering. That'd be a bit of discrimination there, It'd be, you should probably let me into my religious institution, I would say.
I don't think churches are like a crime free zone. I don't think it's like a get out of jail free card to go to church. Maybe you do things different here.
Look, I'm just saying, if I'm trying to walk into a church and you try and stop me walking into the church of the religion I'm in, that feels like you're doing crimes.
Yeah, well, actually, your church is this was the site of quite a confrontation here, because Baron Valenzuela came back and told everybody that you tried to kill him, and Bishop Bittercreek didn't believe it. But then he cast Zone of Truth on the Baron, and he said it again. So I guess you did.
I mean, in as much as a fight to the death was happening, more than one party's got to be involved in a fight.
Yeah, I mean, I do have orders to bring you into custody because Zolfo is under the protection of, the various groups, including, my leader. You did an arm wrestling contest with him.
So, 1 second. I know you asked me to roll initiative, but he hasn't actually started fighting me yet, correct?
Correct.
Can I Misty Step behind him and just fucking run in?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, Misty Step. I'm fucking running through the doors. I'm getting in. I'm wasting no time.
All right, you appear behind him, hit the doors open, and start running. He just turns around and says, "Okay, well, I'm not sure what your exit plan is. This is the only door into the church, so I'm just gonna bite you in the back." And then he does that.
Okay, sure.
13 and 29.
1 sec. The 29 hits.
All right, you take 9 damage. So this is a big, muscular, great white shark, Kuatoa, a mouthful of jagged, gnarled teeth, and that's how he fights. He just latches onto you and starts biting at your back.
Okay, I guess my question here is, How much action is it going to require from me to throw myself into the hole and come back out wormed? Like, is this a case of I gotta fight him first, or can I literally just sprint, throw myself in the hole, explain nothing, and ascend out?
I mean, you have to answer the riddles 3 first.
Oh, I do have to answer the riddles 3. Fuck, this was not a great plan. Barbella's not great at thinking. Okay, time to start whacking.
So yeah, he's biting onto your back. You like kind of skid into the middle of the church between the pews, sending up a wave of silt. You see, this is a very opulent church that you renovated during the World's Fair arc, so it's even more resplendent and beautiful. And at the front, by the pulpit, there is a vent that is disgorging purple smoke.
Can I take a big whiff?
Yeah, to regain a spell slot, you absolutely can.
Yeah, cool. Then I'm gonna start rolling to hit him. 22 on the first hit, 27 on the second hit.
Uh-oh, big hits. He says, "Where was this during our fight? I rolled you last time, girl."
Hey, I was literally paid to throw the fight, loser.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Get dunked on, nerd. Let's go.
So I'm gonna use my Paladin of the Open Sea thing to push him back 10 feet with one of these to basically push him out of the church, and like I'm gonna avoid as much damage to the church happening as possible. And another 11 damage, so that's 23 so far. And also, Barbella is gonna activate the Strike of the Storm Giants, Strike of the Giants. So, what effect do I want to apply here? What would be good? Let's do Hill Strike. So it's going to take an extra d6 damage. So that's another 6. That brings it up to 29 total damage so far, I think.
Yep.
Also, it's going to have to succeed on a strength saving throw or be prone.
All right, that's his best score. He's a big muscular shark man.
He
17.
is. Okay, he's not prone, but I did an extra 6 damage to him. I think that was a pretty good pair of hits.
Yeah, you blast him back with your spear. There is a crack of, a giant magic that plunges it even further in. The blood is now in the water in the church. He takes a big mouthful of it because he's a voracious shark man, and he says, "Okay, so you threw the last fight. You say, let's see if you can actually back that up by beating me this time, because everyone saw that one. No one's gonna see this one."
I like this idea of framing the fight. It's like a magician saying, like, "Listen, I can only do this trick if no one is looking. I can only beat you if no one's watching."
All right, he lunges towards you. 12 and 23.
The 23 will hit.
All right, 8 damage. Just bites right onto your arm. Just going to try to rip it off. He's just pure muscle, pure bite.
Okay. That's a bite. That sure is a bite. That's like 8. That's no fucking damage. You really think you would have beaten me in the tournament?
You lost to an old man. I saw you arm wrestle him.
Like yeah, arm wrestle's different from fight. I can only
I'm
use
Goldsby
my arm.
the Great White Terror. Who the fuck are you?
Okay, Barbella's smacking again, and I've remembered what the other thing I could have applied last turn is, so I'm going to do it this turn. Okay, so, botch 13 on the first roll, 27 on the second.
All right, 27 is going to hit. I'll say you take 10 damage as you try to rip your arm out of his mouth, and just he takes a whole layer of skin off your arm. So yeah, it's pretty brutal.
So that's what, 10 damage, did you say?
10 damage, yep, and you hit once.
Okay, that's cool. So, should have started the turn with Blinding Smite. You're right for me to pop a Blinding Smite?
Yep, that's a bonus action that you can do before your attack.
Yeah, so that's, so I'm gonna do 3d8 radiant damage additionally on this attack, plus I can burn a spell slot to do Divine Smite to add another d6 to it. Oh, no, sorry, another 2d8 to it.
Correct, yes.
Yeah. So, let me work out the things I gotta roll at you here. So, a d8 plus 9 plus the Blinding Smite.
5d8.
5d8.
Yeah.
plus... Oh, sorry, 1 sec. Is that counting the D8 for the weapon attack?
Yes.
Okay.
68 total. 1 for the weapon, 3 for blinding, 2 for divine.
Cool. Plus, I can add a giant flavor to it. So let's add Storm Strike to it. So that's another D6, and we'll deal with the other bit of it in a second. So that's 45 damage.
All right, Laura, stop rolling. Lethal
Plus
or non-lethal?
5. Non-lethal.
Paint me this picture. You dumped all of your shit into this, which is great because you're about to get full revive. When you go into the thing, you get all your stuff back. This is the well of resurrection is goaded.
I'll point out, as a side note, this is the second campaign in a row where Laura got a full revive in the middle of an arc.
Yeah, I fucking love that shit.
I mean, it's a big choice. Like, I want to say that Barbella choosing to do this is honestly, I did not take it for granted that this was on the table. There's, a whole other way this could have gone, but
I don't think it would have happened otherwise. But I think it's where we're going. So it's non-lethal. Barbella is gonna make sure that before this shark, in the Roll20, it's one of the enemies from Street Sharks. Is it?
Yeah, it's Ripster from Street Sharks.
Yeah. I didn't remember the name. I was like, I recognize your face.
Classic Ripster.
Yeah, before they pass out, Barbella is gonna stand one foot on top of the torso and go. So that was what, 2 hits it took me to win? As he's passing out.
You used a bunch of paladin magic. It's like 6 hits, but all your hits are full of magic. It's different.
Yeah, like I would have done in the tournament.
If you 1v1'd me, no items, final destination, Fox only, you know what it'll take you to. That's a classic Ripster move.
If I didn't do all the shit that makes me powerful, I wouldn't have done so well. Big fucking revelation, sir.
Oh yeah, I mean you use the mimic tier. I mean, come on.
Look, sometimes you gotta lay down Scarlet Rot and just let the damage over time work its way.
In the middle, he passes out in the middle of making excuses. He was saying something about buffing the unarmed damage.
Cool.
It was bad wet code. That's what was making him not let his attacks right.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh god.
Austin, did I send you the Lord Mog tweet?
Probably.
Sorry, Laura. Go ahead.
The one that was just like Drake's not beating the allegations, Dr. Disrespect's not beating the allegations, Lord of Blood somehow beat the allegations.
I hate that I understood every part of that.
Yeah, same. Yeah, but Barbella is going to walk toward the hole, and I'm assuming that there's no immediate... Like, this was the one guard, there's no immediate threat right now. No one else knows that she's here doing this. So she is going to take a second to, straighten the pews back out and, tidy up on the way, because, this is disrespectful to a house of religion. Before she heads over to throw herself in the revival hole.
Yeah, so presumably someone will be coming because you just walked into town confidently. Someone is going to tell on you. Let's cut over to Boyce and Reaper, who are doing a classic Ripster move of riding their mounts at high speed toward the farm. Do you all want to roll anything before I decide how that goes? I guess you did animal handling. Did you?
We didn't.
We didn't roll that yet.
Actually did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that is a classic Ripster move. I always recall him in the iconic Ripster show doing that.
All right.
I crit.
16. Wow. Even with a -2. Yeah.
You do the Metal Gear Solid 5 thing where you slide over to the side of your horse so no one can see you. There's actually a bunch of guards patrolling. So Baron Valenzuela came back to Zolfo, said, hey, the whole patrol tried to murder me. Gather up the town. In fact, the school has deputized a bunch of banana boys against you. They're all wearing banana badges. They're patrolling the streets. But with a crit and a 16, you can give them the slip. Feel free to paint me any additional flavor on this. But you're going to get to the church totally fine. I'm not going to roll anybody attacking you.
Is this the church?
The farm is what I meant to say.
Okay, gotcha. I just like the idea of Reaper kind of doing maybe a minor version of the Pass Without Traits shadow magic she does, where there's just kind of like a cloak of shadow around Boyce and Reaper as they're kind of darting around in between guards.
Mm-hmm. I like to imagine being able to duck behind the mount and trying to carefully cast like a ray of frost against the ground near one of the guards' feet so they slip and fall, and that distracts them long enough that their vision cones look away from Reaper and Boyce accordingly,
Yeah,
Just,
and the guy slipped and fell into a trash can full of dirty diapers that
That's
they
right.
have
Oh my
for
God.
some reason there. You're like, that doesn't make a lot of sense, but
why,
I mean, okay.
why did we keep that by our post?
And without a lid.
Without a lid? Yeah, who would do that?
This is absurdity.
All right, you crit, so you get there, no problem. None of the guards see you. As you get to the ranch, it looks the way it usually does. There are clouds of krill. There are beds of like oysters. There's the big farmhouse, and then there's like the workers' quarters where Boyce and Barbella woke up one time. You don't really see that many people. Like, it seems like the guards have gone to Zolfo specifically. This farm is like on the outskirts. Maybe so you can roll something, or you can just walk in.
Trying to think here, best way to kind of like case the joint. One of the things I'm realizing is that more likely than not, Alfego's been dragged along here as well, to help with the spell. So I'm trying to think here.
Yeah, survival to case the joint.
Sure. I was possibly thinking of using like detect magic to try to see if I can gauge out like a direction that a spell might be happening from.
Yeah, that's more than good. Detect magic is, in fact, I would say, the ideal thing to do when you're trying to find someone doing some magic.
Yeah. So, yes, basically trying to figure out like some ethereal traces and stuff like that, and trying to get a feel for like any particular auras. Honestly, I would not be surprised if Porter just had like a shed full of magic items. That thing's just glowing like a motherfucker right now.
Yeah, you see more than spectral traces. You turn on your heat vision goggles and you look at the elephant's foot from Chernobyl. There is a huge magical glow of the energy you're looking for by the stables. Someone is doing magic over there. No doubt about it. You know exactly where to go.
Normally, I would just scream and charge straight in, but I perhaps imagine you might want to actually coordinate what we're going to do first.
I think what we can do here is I can do a little teleportation myself. And what I think we just need to do is just try to hop ourselves into the stables over there to get closer to what's happening. Because like you said, if we make too much of a racket, we're not dealing with just Porter. The rest of the hands around here are going to be on us like a pack of piranha. So we got to be a little bit more cautious here. So
One thing I guess I will note now is I don't think I've had Reaper do it yet, so I do want to have her activate her Shadow of Moil ability from the Abyssal. It's not the Abyssal. I wrote Abyssal and I know it's not that. But from the dark people under the ocean.
Yeah, from the cephalids, from giving them the vent that you won from the World's Fair.
what does that do, actually?
Basically makes it that if somebody hits me, I like shadows lash out and deal damage.
Got it. All
But
right.
in the scope of this universe, it's also Reaper kind of going Super Saiyan.
Right. That makes
Hyper
sense.
Shadow, I think, is what they called it in the games.
A classic Ripster moment.
Classic Ripster.
Classic. All right. I think what Boyce will do themselves is probably they could Misty step on into the stable. I think Reaper could use like shadows to teleport in as well. Correct?
Yes.
So I think that's going to be the track we'll use to get into the stable, and then we'll work forward from there.
All right, this dynamic duo teleport into the stables. It is a pretty decent stables. It's a mediocre livery. It's an okay corral, if you will. It is filled with hippocampi mostly, the kind of horse of our setting. Notably, and I didn't know you were going to go in here necessarily, there is a VIP stable here, which is warded with some kind of magic. You can investigate that if you want, but you hear outside, because now you're you're inside the stables, someone outside mumbling, and they are some kind of magical incantation. They're doing something. There's just there is a person immediately outside the stables.
All right. I will take a passing glance at least at the VIP stable to kind of see if I can notice anything about it.
Yeah, it's like, it's a place where you would bring a horse in, but in this universe, there's like a magic ward. It's like a glowing, wiggly, multicolored shield, so you can't see inside.
I guess there's anything I can kind of discern information-wise about the shield or about the markings on it and such? Anything notable, or just, Yeah,
Arcana.
Sure. 26. Is that enough?
Yeah, that's more than enough. Yeah. So this is a pretty basic security spell to keep anyone from stealing the boss's horse. So this is where Baron Valenzuela's mount is. I'll just say that. You could use something like Dispel Magic to get rid of it, or you could have his personal key. Which you don't have right now.
I just like the idea. It's like, well, the entrance to the stable is enchanted, but the other walls aren't. So you can just cut open a hole in one of the other walls and just steal the horse that way.
Yeah, I mean that would probably alert people, but yeah, this is
that is the lock-picking lawyer approach here. It's just like, what is the?
All right, yeah, but that's what you know is that
Right.
Baron Valenzuela has a custom mount. He sprung for the high-end skins on his horse. Outside, you hear one voice of someone mumbling and doing something magical.
He bought the fucking horse armor.
100%.
Classic Ripster move.
Classic drown loadable content there,
Fuck off.
So I want to do something and then immediately follow it up by like going into attack. But I want to cast silence using 2 key points over the person casting this ritual to like put a stop to it, essentially.
All right, yeah. A hush descends upon the stable area. The sounds of whinnying hippocamp suddenly go away. The sounds of mumbling go away.
Yeah, and I'm going to like dash out to see this individual.
Yep, you dash out of the stables and right into the face of El Fago, Isopod Thrycreen, who looks startled, immediately curls up into a ball. A roly-poly ball drops to the ground, where you see they've been scratching away in the dirt, sigils and, magical formulae.
So Fago was here. They didn't come with us.
Well, my thought was that Porter took Elfago back with the Kraken limb because Elfago knows what the spell is and Porter doesn't. So that was my assumption, was that Elfago was going to be here either prepping the spell or teaching it to Porter so that Porter could run it. So
okay, I want to like check back towards Boyce then, because in my mind Reaper is expecting Porter, and now she's like, okay, where is Porter then?
Well, Boyce will take a look, come on out and see Elfago and just be like, and just sort of reach down to gently tap on Elfago to sort of like coax him out of being curled up.
Yeah, they stay curled up in a defensive ball because you all are in a silent zone. So he cannot hear like you. It doesn't really know it's you.
I will. Can I do a perception check? Do I see anything that looks like Porter is like hiding around somewhere, or like some kind of magic's maybe afoot?
Yep, insight to the situation.
Insight, huh? I rolled a 19, Austin.
Yeah, you are incredibly suspicious of why Elfago would be left apparently unguarded in the middle of the ranch. That seems strange. You assume he's being made to work on a spell under duress. Something I would need a 20 to say more explicitly.
Sure.
With a 19, I'm going as close as possible to say something is up.
Something is definitely up, and I think my impression is this is authentically Elfago. This is like an illusion magic or something, but someone is definitely like this. This would be the moment in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure where someone would be like, I think a stand user is afoot.
And then the music cue starts happening, just like, oh shit.
Reaper gets shot by a rat with a 50 caliber fucking sniper rifle.
I wish I had a fucking rifle rat right now. And get your ass.
The rat pack, just comes in.
All right, let's go.
I guess it doesn't make sense if we were around here. Something I'm going to deactivate the magic or the silence because I can recast it if need be.
Yeah, and at that point, like once the silence goes away, Boyce is just like, "Hey, Elfago, it's okay. It's just us."
All right. As soon as you say that, dexterity saving throw, Boyce.
You got it. All right. 20. Eat my ass, okay?
Whoa. Alfego unrolls and leaps at your throat with a pincer mandibled mouth and tries to bury it into your mouth. Their way they attack is by eating the tongues of their victims. Very strange. Alfego tries to eat your tongue, but you pull back quickly enough.
Okay. Shit, this is where like having Dispel Magic would be really useful because I'm like, okay. Because I'm like, okay, like my immediate thought is Alfego's being ensorcelled in some way to compel to do this via Geisha or some other sort of spell.
Come back, Boyce. Why do you take your delicious tongue away from me? Please, I am so hungry.
My tongue is only for one person, thank you very much, and so I'm a taken man in this case. What are you doing here, Alfego?
I'm working on a spell. Yes, this is how my voice sounds. I did not get much time to practice.
Classic Ripster.
Alfego's scales begin to peel back as the polymorph spell is dropped, and you see Porter, the sea bunny, smiling at you, very proud of herself for almost eating your face. She says, "I knew you'd be back. You just approached someone in the middle of an empty field. I can't believe that worked."
Where's Alfego?
He's off enjoying himself somewhere in protective custody because of you murderers.
Can I do, I guess I just did an insight check, but I was curious to, like, get a disposition, because I've never necessarily picked up before this that, like, Porter was, like, unhinged. I almost thought it was like, oh, they're just, like, weird and maybe a little flirtatious, but, like, now this is the moment I'm like, is this someone that, like, Reaper should immediately identify as, like, off the theoretical rocker?
I was thinking you're gonna just. I thought you were just going to intimidate Porter outright and use that instead of insight, the other I word there.
Sure, roll intimidation.
I rolled a 15.
Yeah, I think it would take 20 to have some kind of mechanical effect. With 15, I'll say it makes her smile more. She if this was the animated series, she would become like Yandere faced.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. No, she loves it. She's a cute little sheepy. Her little ears are wiggling. She has like 3 earrings in each of her sensory organs that look like ears, and they're all glowing with magic. They're just different enchanted items she has equipped.
I didn't know Porter was a freak like that. All right.
She's absolutely a freak like that.
Hell yeah, Porter. Damn, I wish you would have known during Pride Month. I feel like we could have talked about so many more things.
Sorry, just like Boyce is just gonna cross his arms and be like, well, if Alfego's at least safe, that's fine. My only other concern here is that, well, I'm the one that's going to be picking up the terraforming magic, not you, Porter.
How are you going to do that with no tongue? I think it has vocal components.
Well, then I'll just have to stop you from taking my tongue away.
You're not fun. I hate you. Roll initiative.
You get
11.
I like that she's telling us to do it.
She's Deadpooling the fight here. God.
25.
Natural 20 on initiative and an 18 for Boyce.
Very unnecessary crit there.
Does Reaper get an extra full turn before everyone else? Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
All right, Reaper, you're up first.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up. I'm gonna try to attack her. Now, I'll note I am using my harpoon, which she enchanted, so I don't know if there's any consequence to doing that. But if not, I'm gonna roll my attacks.
Nope, it's just your soul and the Baron's soul, which you're bound. You can still beat her ass with it.
Hell yeah. Alright, it's going to be 15, 19, and I'm going to spend a key point to do a flurry of blows as a bonus action, so 25 and 11.
Alright, everything but the 11 hit.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, when your fist or harpoon hit her, it's like fighting a sack of jelly, right? She is truly like a shellless slug person, covered in like fuzz. It feels like you're punching a pillow repeatedly. and she is just like flailing. She doesn't have any armor on. I don't know. You've never fought anyone quite so defenseless seeming.
Sure. That is going to be 39 damage.
All right. Dexterity saving throw as a reflavored hellish rebuke rips out of her body from one of her earrings. This is like a cloud of something.
29 crit on dexterity?
Yeah, perfect. No, you just close your mouth and eyes as it washes over you. Whatever poison or acid or whatever that was passes harmlessly through you, past you.
I'm getting all these crits on the rolls that don't do anything when you crit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you actually you're gonna take half damage from this, in fact. But
I think I have. Let me double check. I think the monks get that ability. Yeah, so I have evasion. So dexterity saving throws actually take no damage on a successful save.
Fuck, shouldn't have wasted my reaction on you then.
Yeah, eat shit, nerd. Can I use my reaction on her reaction?
To call her a nerd?
Shadow of Boyle.
Yeah.
That's essentially my hellish rebuke. Oh,
sure.
I can? Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be... I could have just typed this out faster. 11 damage.
All right. Your shadows lash at her, and it's Boyce's turn.
All right. Yeah, so Boyce's turn is going to be fairly straightforward here in this situation. Do like the whole like Yu Yu Hakusho style like finger gun sort of gesture, and we're going to cast a third level guiding bolt at Porter here. So that's an 18.
That hits.
All right, that is 15 radiant damage. Porter glows, which will give Reaper advantage on her first attack against Porter in the next round here.
All right, yeah, the beam just hits her. She doubles over glowing, and she like rears back and laughs, and she says, I'm so glad I finally get to use my cool spells on people. I haven't gotten to use any of my best spells since I got to this stupid fucking town.
You better come at me with your best, because you're not going to last very long otherwise.
All right, intelligence saving throw. Reaper, as she uses Psychic Crush, she overload the mind of one creature you can see, filling its psyche with discordant emotions. She makes you face everything you hate about yourself all at once.
What?
God. Now, do I get bonuses based off of the osmosis of the billions I've killed, as established earlier?
You do not.
Damn. And then 11, champ.
Nope. Oh my god, this does so much damage. Okay, first of all, your mind is overwhelmed in such a way as you are stunned and you skip your next turn. Second, you take 43 damage.
Okay, that could have been worse.
What is it like for you to have your mind crushed?
Oh yeah, this is a pure fucking cocky moment. Reaper just be like,
You better come at me with the best you have, or she won't last.
just like immediately, like just like screaming as her mind is ripped apart.
Yeah, she laughs and just says, "Stupid jock. Now it's just me and you, nerd. Magic off, magic duel."
All right, cool. I'll take advantage of my own advantage then. Like Boyce will see Reaper being inflicted like that, and think back to the phantasmal killer that was inflicted upon him, and just sort of grimace at Porter and just being like, "It's one thing to attack the body, but attacking the mind, that is quite a low that you like to reside yourself in." And
it's more fun. You can only bleed in one way, but your mind can collapse in so many different fun orientations.
All right. Whatever. Here we go. Boyce is going to cast a 5th level guiding bolt with advantage. That's a 26 on the hit there.
Absolutely hits.
This is going to be transformed to be doing acid damage instead of radiant damage. That's only 22, unfortunately. I had a few ones in there, but that's what Boyce does on that front to try to put some more pressure on Porter there.
All right. On Porter's turn, she's going to try the same thing on you. She says, "Let's see how your mind collapses. I bet you're going to cry again. You're going to be so sad about your stupid whatever guy." Intelligence saving throw.
Question, is the spell that was cast a concentration spell or not?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I was just curious about that. 21.
Oh, all right. So you save. You do not get stunned, and you are only going to take half of this damage. So you take 22 as she tries to inflict a crushing blow on your mind, and you are able to ward it off. You can add some flavor to this, but I will say at the end of the order, some people on the ranch have noticed the fight going on, and you see people wearing banana badges, a combination of merfolk and Genasi and Kuatoa from the community who have been deputized by the school, and they're just like shooting wildly. In fact, dexterity saving throw both of you as just a couple of bullets whiz past you. Magic bullets, of course.
21.
Save, perfect.
29 crit.
Holy shit! All right, so the backup posse is arriving, but none of you are concerned, and we're back to Reaper.
Okay. Yeah, I want like a almost like cartoon level, like shaking out of it sort of moment as the mind crushing finally ends, and I'm gonna attack this person. There were no other effects besides the stun.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna come in with the full gamut of things. So, 24, a 14, and an 18.
That first attack was with advantage, so that first attack is just 24.
Gotcha.
So you get
And
one
I'll
more
do
attack.
the other attack then. So a 24, an 18, and a 23.
All hit.
That is going to be 31 damage. And you know what? I mean, it's only fair play. She stunned me. I'm going to spend a key point to do a stunning strike.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
So looking to do a DC 16 con check.
All right. Made of jelly. I don't have her as immune to being stunned because she doesn't have, it's 10. I fail. I think it would be pretty interesting if she was like, what are you stunning? Like, what? I barely have a brain. Boyce, I guess you get advantage because Reaper hits her in the nervous system in some way that her body kind of goes wiggly.
All right, so next up, Boyce is going to use a third level spell slot to cast Acid Arrow on him with advantage here. So that's a 27.
That hits.
All right, so the damage here is a little bit interesting. So they'll take 14 damage immediately, and at the end of their next turn, they'll take an additional 9. So that'll be a total of 23 acid damage by the time their turn ends.
So you shoot an acid arrow through her body.
Yes, and then acid lingers for a bit and extends into her turn.
Lethal or non-lethal?
I'm just like, damn, why do I get these calls, Austin? Why is Boyce?
Because you do cool damage.
Yes, but it's like the timing, like, oh no.
Yeah, Reaper is looking at you. I don't want to say expectantly. I think she's looking at you like a teenager who's almost using this to kind of guide some of her, like, emotional stability. Not stability, but just like, this is going to be an essential moment for her.
Right. Basically, especially because since they were just stunned, this is effectively like executioner style, and Boyce is going for the kill here. So, Boyce, I'm going to elect this time to go for non-lethal in this case here.
All right, Reaper pops her up in the air, stunning her, and then you shoot an acid arrow, and not through her head, but like through somewhere like in her torso. And she kind of laughs as she floats down and says, I never laid a hand on you. I just made you see yourselves for who you really are. But my friend is going to lay some hands on you. And she touches her earring and starts chanting, teeth, 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 as the earring starts vomiting black shadows out of it, a cloud of darkness that begins enveloping the area. As you're surrounded...
Yeah, I knew this motherfucker was coming back.
You're surrounded by banana boys with wands, and Master Evers steps out of the cloud of shadows. Porter's body kind of flops to the ground, and she is not participating in the fight anymore, but she had an agreement with Master Evers. This is where you sent her. if you'll recall the last arc. Master Evers says, where can I go to get stronger? And wherever you sent him, I was going to give him a power-up based on that person or location. You sent him to the Banana Boys, and so Porter gave him these. Now he has 2 bracelets. Last time you saw him, he had 1, which is the bone that Reaper gathered and which absorbs some of your shadow magic, which uses Word of Recall to teleport Master Evers back to the Hadal zone where he can heal. And now you see he has a second one on his other wrist. In a way, looking at Reaper, it kind of mirrors that both of your arms are covered in the K-part ribbons. It's like symbolizing your family, but he just has 2 made out of stark white bone. They're not the colorful family of ribbons. And he looks at you, Reaper, as Master Evers steps out of the cloud and says, "You ran away."
I didn't really think there was anything left to do. You won your fight. All there'd be left to do is to kill you. Are you that much of a threat to Zolfo still?
I am only a threat to the most powerful person. Are you powerful now?
I'm not sure. I am strong, but I need to consider things. Perhaps I've lived too long in my life underneath your viewpoint.
Evers turns to you, Boyce, and says,
You can leave if you're weak.
I don't know about how weak or strong I am by your metrics here, but if I leave here now, then there's a chance that I'm not going to be able to accomplish what I've promised my partner years ago. If you're what I need to get through to get to that dream being a reality, then so be it. It doesn't matter how strong or weak I am. That's just the stakes as they're laid out, isn't it?
all of the cowboys around you all have raised wands, like they're gonna shoot you down. But Master Evers raises a hand as if to stop them, and they just kind of circle around, like making a fighting ring with Reaper, Boyce, and Master Evers inside. And we're gonna roll a new initiative, but first, Barbella.
Yeah.
What are you up to?
I gotta answer some riddles so I can throw myself in a hole.
Yeah, you're standing in front of the purple vent. It's gushing out. You feel at one with the universe, and you're going to try to summon the riddle fish.
Yep, I'm doing it. I'm going for it.
All right, a voice booms out.
Some try to hide, some try to cheat, but time will show. We always will meet. What am I?
Can you go through that one more time?
Some try to hide, some try to cheat, but time will show. We will always will meet.
Some try to hide, some try to cheat. We always shall meet. I'm going with death.
Ding, ding, ding. One of the statues in the room comes to life and begins swimming around. You've answered the first of the riddles 3. You feel the presence of the riddle fish getting closer from wherever it was. You know, it's not in the area, but there's like a wave of religious energy that washes over you. And after the first riddle, you hear someone entering the church, and you turn around and you see Bishop Bittercreek enter there.
Yeah,
and he sees Goldsby unconscious on the ground and says, "Sister Barbella, I feel as though you owe me an explanation."
That's fair. The Banana Baron is getting ready to try and do some pretty fucking vicious evil shit, and I have very few options to stop him from doing some stuff that is going to fundamentally ruin this religion forever. I need you to trust me. This is the right decision.
What is Baron Valenzuela gonna do? From my understanding, he's a local businessman. He owns a ranch. He has made many donations to the church. What is this evil master plan?
He has already been trying to place additional rules on access to religious practices that he would like to control for his own financial benefit in a way that is not worth us taking his money if it means that fundamentally he is going to have say over an important religious practice.
I was skeptical of the submission fees, but they've actually been a huge success. We're making tons of money, and we're keeping, let's call them spurious entries from the queue. A lot of people were entering various teeth and fingernails because of our decision about Seneschal Kilpatrick. I mean, it seems like Baron Valenzuela has done us a huge favor.
Look, whether that is the right decision or not, that decision should not have come about from people being held at knife point and forced to agree to it under duress, from someone whose ultimate endgame is to try and take control over, to have sway over, for financial benefit, a religion. The end result does not justify the kind of man that is trying to take that power.
Sister Barbella, I guess I'll riddle you this. Is it worse to make someone agree to something good under duress than it is to feed a child to a snake, if we're maybe weighing morality here?
I'm not saying that what I did there was correct. That not being correct does not absolve someone else of what they are doing. You don't argue that one thing... You don't argue against an immoral person by pointing out something else that may have been the wrong choice.
I'm certainly against bad people. I don't have the evidence that your actions are justified. You seem very certain, and when I come to pray, it is because of the world being so full of uncertainty.
I am aware of the uncertainty in this world, but I cannot stop thinking that you are being swayed by financial support for the church into supporting a person who you would otherwise not support. It feels like you are being blinded to the nature of this person because, while they gave us some money, can't be that bad. And it terrifies me that that is enough to have swayed you.
It's not the money, Barbella. I mean, as long as
it's the first thing
church...
you bring up every time we talk about him is he's donated to the church. It's literally the first point you bring up every time we talk of him.
My priority is making sure we can do our duty, which is reviving people, which we can't do if the queue is full of garbage.
I'm not
The money is going to come regardless.
I'm not saying that shouldn't be the case. I'm saying the kind of person who would hold a person at knife point to get greater influence over a religion is not someone you want having any sway in a religion.
So what is your solution? You just killed this man? No judge, no jury, no, your peers don't get to weigh in? You just took it upon yourself?
If that is what it takes to prevent a man like that getting control of a religious institution, then maybe that is how it has to be. I'm not saying that's what I do right this second, but I need the tools so that if it comes to it, if his plan gets worse, if he cannot be reasoned with, if he cannot be talked down, that he is not a person incapable of being fought back against.
And what are you doing here? I can see that you've answered one of the riddles 3. Am I interrupting you? Betraying one of our core tenets? Is it supposed to be persuasive?
one of our core tenets. This is you decided that this was not correct. That was a decision you made. That is not, has there been, religion-wide discussion and agreement on interpretation of this? Because I think we fundamentally disagree on some elements of this religion.
So are you a tree popist, or are you going into business for yourself? Are you trying to be the new archbishop, or is this?
I'm not trying to be the new archbishop, and I'm not trying to be the new tree pope. I think that there is fundamentally something happening that is both and neither and in between. And I think that is where the answer lies. And I think that it is important we understand what that thing in between is.
And how is abusing the gift of the riddlefish to get more power for yourself so you can murder a man accomplish that?
It is going through the process. It is understanding what it is that we are complicit in being part of a process of, and being able to truly know what it is we are serving, what it is we are part of a cycle of.
And what is it that you serve, Barbella?
The cycle that is the tree and the snake.
A second wave of power and majesty washes over you as the second of the riddles 3 arrives. Are you ready?
As ready as I'm ever gonna be.
I can't be bought, but I can be stolen with a glance. I'm worthless to one, but priceless to two. What am I?
Okay, that is a lot of riddle. Okay. I can't be bought, but can be stolen with a glance. I'm worthless to one, but priceless to two, is that correct?
Correct.
I can't be bought, but can be stolen with a glance. Love?
2 for 2. Swish,
Okay.
swish, swish.
Okay.
Every time.
Oh, God, fucking love riddles. Fucking love
Why
riddles.
why are these riddles suspiciously thematically about topics that this season is about here, Austin?
Okay, the next one's going to be about farts and poop. Are you happy?
There you go.
Yes, finally!
Finally,
I'm gonna get this riddle!
Also, I have to make this aside here. All I can think of in my head here is our argument about separation of church and snake. All right, continue.
Oh my god! I'm going to kill you with my bare hands.
Oh, God.
What the fuck?
Right. Okay.
Sorry.
All right, you get the second of the riddles 3. Another statue comes to life and starts circling the vent. Both you and Bishop Bittercreek are breathing in the stuff and feeling at one. You can feel like the distance between you, both physical and like spiritually dissolving, and you can also feel the approach of the riddlefish. And he says, "Am I going to have to stop you, Barbella?"
Is it really going to come to that point? Can you not see that what I want to do is protect this religion from being brought up by a man whose entire point is to control everything with an iron fist, regardless of its value, just not caring what it is, but just wanting it because it's valuable. someone who is perfectly capable of putting on the kind of smile that makes a person go, maybe that evil man isn't quite so evil, maybe we let him have a little more power and a little more power. What's he gonna do wrong with it? Can't you see that I genuinely fear what this person will do to the religion, and at the end of the day, I see the bigger picture of what our and our sister religion can be, and I don't want to fight you. But I think that our religion is a riddle with two answers, and someone wants to lock one of those answers down to be theirs and theirs alone. And I'm trying to help.
Okay, Barbella. If you're so certain of the answer, then maybe you have studied closer than I have, because I don't have any answers. Why don't you give me your riddle? This is how Bishop Bittercreek does combat. We're not going to roll initiative. You riddle me back.
Oh shit!
Oh god!
Oh no!
God, can I find the riddle that I wrote about the tree and the snake a while ago?
But I think I know that.
Because I don't.
Don't I know that one?
Oh yeah, you know that one, but I wasn't thinking out of game knowledge. I was like, does our only thinks about one half of the religion man, would he have heard Barbella's one riddle she wrote herself?
I mean, we could do it that way. I guess I would roll there. But also, you could just use original to try to stump me, Austin Yorsky.
Okay. If we're doing that, I need a second to work out which one I want to do. Are you alright with me taking a second?
Sure.
Okay.
I realize I have a regret. I should have had Boyce take like their duster jacket off their shoulders and give it to Barbella to wear as like a cape on the way into all this. They're like, damn, that'd be cool. Maybe later. Maybe there'll be a later time for that. Well, I am happy that Reaper has a hat now.
This has been a season of exchanging clothes.
Mm-hmm. Both voluntarily and just by snatching a little extra cloth here.
Yeah, you gotta do a classic Ripster move like that.
Yep. Oh shit.
Always riding around, snatching clothes. Ripster was
On
such
horseback?
a scamp.
other land-bound hippocampi, you know?
Okay, I know what Barbella's riddle's gonna be. It's a real short, simple one. Barbella simply says, what is it that if given one, you'll have either two or none?
If you're given one, you'll either have two or none.
Mm-hmm.
Trust?
Nope.
Secret?
Nope.
I think it's fair to say I lost.
Yeah, a choice. You'll either have multiple things to choose from, or you'll have no choice.
What the fuck? Okay, I think Bishop Bittercreek loses, and the purple vent behind you turns golden, and the hole in the seafloor begins filling up with the Well of Resurrection's holy light.
Please trust me that I know how much I don't know. But I can't let how much I don't know stop me from trying to act when things are at their worst. And Barbella steps into the hole.